Welcome to the Generation Fit podcast. I'm your host, Coach Chris, and my co-host, Coach Brett. Together, with over 20 years experience, have helped thousands of desk working men lose 20 plus pounds, build visible muscle definition, and be able to do so forever. Today, on podcast 39, we talk about how to get into the fittest shape for 2026. Enjoy. What are you doing for New Year's Eve?
What am I doing for New Year's Eve? Honestly, not much. I'm a bit of a homebody, so I'm really just staying in. I'm gonna watch some. I'm just gonna spend time with my wife. I'm going to just try not to get out there, try not to drink too much. Look, I come from a background where holidays are just more work, not for me, not less, right? Like culinary is always like that. Like every day you guys take off, New Year's Eve, Christmas, whatever, that usually for me would come with more workload. So by nature, I don't really celebrate the holidays all that much, right? Like usually New Year's Eve rolls around, I'm just like, thank God I don't gotta work today. That's how I feel right now. That's my vibe. And by nature,
Yeah?
I just stay in. It's just another day, right? New Year's Eve, I'm gonna work out because I work out on Wednesday. New Year's Day, I'm gonna work out because I work out on Thursday. And it's just treating it run of the mill in that sense. Obviously, for most of us, we go out, we eat, we drink, whatever. But I think people this year, especially, I saw this earlier today. Somebody posted about New Year's Eve or New Year's being on a Thursday. It's if fitness is a big priority for you right now in your life, you should literally just start today, start tomorrow, start whenever, right? If your New Year's resolution is lose 10 pounds, gain some muscle, whatever, start on Thursday. Doesn't fucking matter, right? Don't wait till Monday because everyone's gonna do that, and you're already pushing things back and you're already off the wagon. Just the iron's hot, just fucking strike it. That's it.
No, I absolutely agree. That's one of the toughest things for people. I mean, let's put it this way, right? Like we're obviously the fitness guys. And it's easy for us to say, hey, you should start anytime. And I'd be a hypocrite if I have not, previously been like, hey, I want to be, my specific case. Um, I'm not very good with content naturally. Like I just don't sit behind a camera, talk, and just be myself. It actually took me like 2 years, but even before leading up to that, that took me like another year of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it one day. You know, so by no means am I telling everybody here like wait out till the Monday. What I am saying though is it is tough, but you can pick yourself up. We know you can do it. And I think the discrepancy really is that you're trying to reach this goalpost that's so far. For the guys that that follow me specifically, they're all like, I want that. I just want like that Chris Hemsworth body at the very far end. And then if it's just like being like, hey, I want a flat stomach, but they have no idea what it is to even eat healthy, have portion sizes, what protein is, right? So I think it's just a bit massive gap that they don't even know what they don't even know. So that's kind of like the major issue. So all we're trying to tell you is this is the exact reason why we're live and we're having this podcast right now to show you guys what the hell is going on. So in this case, this is our live podcast. So welcome to podcast 38. This is the New Year's edition and exactly what you should be doing to lose fat, build muscle tone, and get into your best shape for 2026. I'm your host, Coach Chris, and this is Coach Brett. And I think to start off, I think Brett did a great job of introducing the first one. Is just get started. It doesn't matter. Just start doing something. And what we're going to do is lay out each step by step. One and two, probably the best tips that you'll get to be able to get started right away. And the first one. And I mean the absolute simplest one. And I'll go with lifestyle first. Like the easiest one, and it's like you should be doing it right now, is the liquid calories. Just eliminate as much as you can. That's liquid calories. Like that's gotta be the simplest one. So if it's sodas, diet sodas, teas, diet teas. Uh Anything sweetened, just go for the 0 calorie sweetener. Okay, even if you're in your coffees, do like a Splenda instead. Do like anything possible. Trust me, it's not going to make anything worse. If you're getting the triple shot Frappuccino caramel, I don't know. I lose track of the Starbucks BS, but I know a lot of my clients like to get Starbucks on their way to work. So just know that liquid calories has got to be number one. Is it just you're not getting anything filling your stomach, and you're just getting a little taste of something, and then you're just gonna be hungry afterwards. So that's why I would start off with the number one.
Absolutely. And a little anecdotal. I had a client once, who was a lovely woman, and she was about, I think, 5'2", and I think she weighed about 220. So like needed to lose weight pretty badly. She was also a doctor, so very very intelligent human being. And I sat her down in the office. We were talking about diet because like if you need to make like major weight loss changes, like diet is gonna be the biggest hurdle, right? Like, is you need to get your diet right because that's where weight loss is going to come from the most part. Exercise is amazing. You should go to the gym. You should weight train. You should do some little bit of cardio. But like the vast majority of your weight loss impact is going to come from dietary changes. That's just how it is. And I was talking to her and we were just going over her diet and she was telling me, and I was like, asked her, like, and soda came up and I was like, hey, like, do you drink soda? And she was like, yeah, I drink like, Pepsi, drink like Coke, drink whatever. All right, cool. So, like, I think you should switch to diet soda. It's like 0 kcal. It's like better for you. Like the taste, you get used to it. It is a little different. No one's saying that like full calorie soda doesn't taste better than diet soda, unfortunately, which was the case. But like she like looked at me. She's like, "But isn't diet soda bad for you?" And I was like, "You know what else is bad for you? Being 220 at 5'2". That's bad for you. So let's be real. Like one of these things is way more emergent."
Uh huh.
Yeah, like when I was cooking, I drank a lot of soda because that's what you do, right? Like you walk in, you get your 4-quart cup container, or your 4-cup container, like a quart plastic one that you get like to go soup in and whatnot. And I would just like bunch of ice, and I would just like pour fountain soda over it. And one time I picked up something, like some gastritis. I have like a thin esophagus, so if I drink like bubbly things, it causes me actual pain now. And as soon as that happened, I just couldn't drink soda anymore comfortably. So I stopped. And I think like over the course of like the next month, I dropped like 10 pounds just by doing nothing else than just not drinking like soda. It was crazy. So like, yeah, calories
Gotcha.
from drink are just so easy to underestimate and to just like just pound down. You don't even think about it. You don't even consider that it could be like a huge source of weight gain or weight maintenance.
Oh, it's absolutely it's absolutely insane. I mean, I like let's make it more practical. So a lot of my clients obviously drink coffee, and in their coffee, I think the average what they'll do is before meeting with us, they'll normally have what two big splashes of creamer of some sort, and then they'll have about at least one sugar packet. Like that's the average, okay? And just in those alone in your coffee is about 300 calories,
Yeah.
right? Like that just to start off with. That's before you even get your day started. And if you have 2,000 calories, that is not going to make it easy to be able to lose fat. It's not. And to be fair, with that combination, you're actually going to be hungrier because you already now drank calories in versus actually just drinking black coffee. Even though it's kind of contentious right now, I would say anecdotally, it has helped my clients just keep prolonging the fast. It like blunts hunger for a little bit longer. So, and the science right now is actually very conflicting, but
Really?
it
Who,
is.
who's talking shit about black coffee? I love black coffee. I'll fight them.
Well, no. So Menno Henselman's, he was a great
Okay.
researcher.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, just based, it was like one, the newest study, and they were just saying it was a placebo. And I honestly believe it. I'm just saying, like,
That's fine.
if I mentally put it in my head, saying like, hey, if I drink this coffee, I'm not gonna be hungry, and then all of a sudden I'm not hungry. Cool, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. It works. I ain't gonna be mad.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be
Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's not real if it's working. You know what I mean? Like that's totally fine. I hate that study. Like not that it's not like I don't. If that's true, and that's what the study says. It's not that I don't believe it. It's just like you don't. We didn't need this. We didn't need to know this. We can just go ahead and believe that coffee blunts hunger, and everyone's happier for it. God damn it.
Yeah, exactly. So in that case, that's it. That's just coffee. And then for the guys who do go to the office, right? I think one of the easiest things is getting soda. And everybody's like, "Oh, I cut out soda and dropped like 5, 10 pounds in like a month." And it's true. It's because it's just so easy to drink more, and most people just don't drink one. And I'm a big culprit of that, huge culprit of that. I'm like, I used to drink like 2, 3 Sprites a day, and that's why I was like 200 pounds at 5'6" when I was like 14, 13. So that's the biggest one. Number two. Number 2, I will go into training. I think everybody wants to go in and start doing 5, 6 days a week, hit the treadmill, sprints, lift every weight possible, do every machine in a row. That doesn't make any sense. And as a trainer that has worked for 12 plus, I mean, 10 years in person, 2 years online, that is the worst thing you can do because all you're doing is going to burn yourself out. And I've seen this so many times where people go in by January, try to show up 5, 6 days a week. I'm high fiving everybody, dabbing them up, doing the thing. And then by March, I would say 50% of those people drop off. And then by April, I'd say 95% of those New Year's people come and drop off. So if you're going to be consistent, start off with the end goal in mind and just ask yourself this question: how many days a week am I going to go to the gym for the rest of my life? And if you start with that in mind, it's going to be like two, 2 to 3 is, the 3 is pushing it. And that's why I think we preach 2 times a week. And it's because, well, I don't want you to revolve your life around the gym. Obviously, I want you to get results, but we know that psychologically, you start off at 5 and you disappoint yourself, you're going to give up. So why not start on the low end, impress yourself, and start. And then once you start enjoying it and getting results, you'll love to do it and want to do more. And that's behavioral psychology 101. It's
Oh yeah,
behavioral therapy. It's the same thing as if like you were afraid of the dark. So you would take one step in closer to the dark, you freak out a little bit, then you go to the next step next time, and then the next step, and then the next step, and then eventually you're submerged in complete darkness, completely fine. It's the same concept here. It's behavioral psychology 101.
100%. Like I tried so many times like to start working out, and every time it was the same thing. It's just like, oh, you got to go in, you got to do X, Y, Z amount of days per week, otherwise nothing's gonna happen. And like I would try to do like 4 or 5 or whatever, and like every time it would just fall flat. The time that it took was when I was like 29, and like I finally got into fitness, and I came in, and I just did 2 days a week for like a month, and I was like, after a month, I was like, this is actually like pretty good. I don't mind doing this. It's like pretty therapeutic. I feel good afterwards. I end the day with like I have like more like mental sharpness the day after. Like and after I made sure that 2 days a week were sustainable, I was like, okay, cool. It's like let's go for 3 days a week. See how that feels. And like that felt pretty good. And then, so on and so forth until I got to like, 5 or 6 days a week. Just like gradually incorporating it into your schedule is how you're gonna end up just like making those good long term changes. If you try to like just ham fist everything at once, you just end up like so spread out. It's just not gonna work. Right? Like, plus, if you think about it, like, if you are somebody who is like relatively detrained, if you haven't like worked out in a long time, the amount of stimulus you get from like a couple of workouts is huge. Like, if you're an advanced athlete, 5, 6 days a week, yeah, you got it. Like, you're gonna need like that kind of stimulus to really see like a lot of the growth a lot of the time. If like muscle size is the goal, because it's just like hard to get the volume and otherwise. But if you're somebody who has like so little association with with weight training, and you go in 2 days a week, you're gonna get all that good soreness. You're gonna feel like tired. You're gonna build the fatigue necessary to like develop those adaptations. You just really need the 2 days, and beyond that, it's kind of like superfluous. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like that's it's 2 days as a starting point is fucking amazing. I recommend 2 days. I don't think one day is enough. I think one day is good for like maintaining wherever you're at, no matter who you are. 2 days, you can definitely see some real fucking progress.
Yep, exactly. Hence why we've literally set that as our baseline and probably the key component of our coaching program. And by the end of this podcast, we'll reveal exactly what's going on in our New Year's. And I think we got so much anticipation. People were messaging me actually nonstop on Instagram about like,
All right.
everybody's seeing ads right now, like, oh, well, what to get you in the best shape of your life. But everybody's been asking me what I've been doing. And I was like, I'm actually building something even better, like taking our old system, which is a 92% success rate with 120 people, to another level. Which I mean, I don't even know. Like the fact that it's even above 60% is insane to me. So just for context, in person training, if you have a 30% success rate, you are a successful trainer. It's like the same batting average uh, as baseball. So the fact that it's at 92 just means that the system works. We do a good job, but I don't have to convince you. But so at the end, we'll explain exactly what's going to go on there. And now for the next one, like these are just basic steps you guys can take. There's nothing you have to inherently do and change your life right now. So that was training. So I'll go to a mindset one because I think this is one of the bigger ones that people think is that the process is going to take a little bit longer than you think. Okay. And this goes for anything. So the longer that you take to change, the longer it's going to take to get the results. So it's kind of circling back on the first one, but I think people want to get those results. They want it so badly and don't even realize what the next step actually is. And I think one of the coaches out there, her name is Coach M, great coach. And she had a great analogy, and I giving 100% props to her on this. Like, this is completely hers, and I love it. So the difference is, imagine you're taking a road trip, and you have no map, you have nothing, you're just putting a full tank of gas, and you go, no GPS, nothing. And it's like, could you get to your destination? Could I drive from Minnesota all the way to Wisconsin, or sorry, to Seattle, Washington? I could. I could just go west, and eventually I land somewhere. But will I land exactly in Seattle? I maybe. Will it be efficient? No. Will I don't even know if I'll get there. So it's the same thing here. The difference is with a GPS, or in this case, coaching, or having somebody hold your hand and guiding you along the way. You have directions to where to go. You're not. It's not going to be perfect. Sometimes you'll miss a turn. It's going to happen, but eventually you have somebody take you there. So it's just a matter of whether you decide to go on this journey. We're going to give you all the free tips, tricks, everything possible that's super easy to start. But just know, like, at the end of the day, it's like, if you want something to be done, it's so much easier having a, in quote unquote, GPS in this specific case.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with coaching across like every possible medium. Anytime you want to get better at something, just hire a coach. It's like if you can afford that, if you have that, like if you can do that for yourself, and you if it's something you really care about, I think fitness is like something that people should really care about. Like, this is you only get one body kind of thing. If you fail your body, like what are you gonna do when you're like, 60 and your back is hurting, you can't walk around properly, you know? But just like getting a coach is the fastest way to get to any destination possible. Like, like if I have to do my taxes, I hire someone to do my taxes. Right. Like I'm not going to do that. Like, obviously, like I would rather someone do it who's an expert in the field. I don't want to fumble around, like mess it up and like get audited by the IRS and then I go bankrupt and get deported. That'd be terrible. So you hire an expert. I want to get in shape, so I hired an expert. I wanted to be better when I was a chef. I want to be better at cooking, so I would go and I would stage at restaurants, so I would get like other expert opinions on how to improve my craft. It's just like if you want to get somewhere, if it matters to you, getting coaching is the quickest route to success every time. Doesn't matter what it is. It's just like it will always get you there faster than you doing it by yourself, right? Like it's just like people, like everyone I know who is like a very advanced athlete at some point in time, maybe not consistently to for whatever factors, like they've had coaches to help get them there, right? It's not, they don't like, you don't stumble into being, the best version of yourself. Is like you need a strict blueprint and a plan. And I don't know a lot of people who have the time to, like, on top of their regular job, to dive into fitness full time and really understand all the inner workings of like programming and dieting to like a high level. Like just getting a coach is just going to be the best for like the vast majority of people. It saves you so much more money and time in the long run. You can think about how much you're like actually investing to get there.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did do it backwards for somebody before, and I was like, actually a good. There's actually a good story. So I go to a gym, and it's just a higher end gym, and everybody there probably drives, like, the average older gentleman will drive a Porsche at the low end, and so one guy rolled in with the Lamborghini, and of course I'm over here like, what the hell do you do for work? Like the guy who walks around like saying, like, oh, what do you do for work? Like, how'd you get this Lambo? Like, oh, what would you tell like the next generation, right? Like, whatever that kid's name is, who's great. And, he's probably like 55, 60, this guy. And we were kind of just hitting it off. And he saw me in my tank top and he's like, dude, I wish I took care, I wish I took care of my body like you. Like, you look great. And I was like, well, I wish I had a Lambo. Yeah, that car is cool. And he's like, yeah, well, the difference was I sacrificed my entire life for my wealth. I got divorced, have my kids don't like me. I don't see them at all. I have grandkids. They don't want to see me. And I was like, I mean, that's terrible, but obviously you still have this nice car. And what's interesting is, even with all the money that he's made with his contracting company that he had, construction that he owned, he's like, well, I have all this money to spend on and nobody to spend it with. Right. And my health is deteriorating because I spent working 14, 16-hour days, like overnights too. Cause it's like a specific thing. And I'm over here like, well, I'm building, I'm like in the midst of building this to like a national level, and I'm like doing this, supporting my family, but I was like, I'm glad I got, I was taking care of my health early, but at the cost of uh not building up, my brand or company faster. And so it's just such a fascinating take. You have both ends of the spectrum. It's like he's telling me as a guy who's 60 something years old, who has the money, but has nobody to share it with, and with no family to be around. And I'm thinking to myself, it's like, well, this guy did everything in his power to work, and he made it. Like he's one of the guys that made it, paid his bills, did to be better for himself. And then you have guys like us. It's like, oh, we're always just trying to, do better for ourselves financially, but like at what cost, right? And I think we don't realize that a lot of us will put fitness health on the back burner and just get by until they're 55, 60, until something goes awry, something breaks down, whether it's a disease, whether it's, like high blood pressure, something your doctor tells you it's something bad. And so I know I say this, but it always comes down to an event in somebody's life. With guys, it's always a woman. It's like 50% a woman. It's like a breakup happens, and the next thing you know, there's some great memes where like the
Oh
guy's
yeah.
like gets broken up, and he's like, "Oh, welcome to the gym," and then it's like the whole thing. It's great. Usually with a woman. And the next top one is a doctor's visit, and then the next biggest one is clothes not fitting right. Right, like those are probably the biggest three. So, like I would say, like breaking up, divorce is in the same category. But in 2026, this is where you have the decision. There's so much information out there. You already have guys that are. I mean, like that's just one off, right? Like that's a one off scenario. But in 2026, there is no shortage of information whatsoever. Right? You can actually get any information that you want. You can actually extrapolate it from any AI source, Google, and actually get a decent program. But what you won't get is, well, one, human interaction with wisdom. And I think that's the biggest differentiator, because you can still, like, I can do any program. I could really type up the best prompt in the world and get an awesome program. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's not going to know my feedback. It's not going to know how my body reacts. It's not going to know any of that stuff. So when people tell me, oh, I got this program of ChatGPT and I didn't get results. I got results for like 3 weeks and then I gave up. It's like, yeah, well, no kidding. It's because you probably didn't like it. You didn't know why it worked. It's just like you were just there, right? And there's no humanity to it. No, like science is both research, right? With as best it can be, but with human research, right? So like that's the toughest part. It's like you're taking both sides of the spectrum in. It's not just one or the other.
Yeah, very fair. I think the human portion of coaching is like really understated. There's something very motivating. Sorry, about having an actual human being on the other end of your programming, on the end of your diet, who's just like guiding you along the process. Because like end of the day, like I don't think people can like adhere to machines as well, right? Like if you were like typing something in ChatGPT and it's just like, hey, here's a program, you should be eating like these things, whatever. And it's just like that's what it is. And like you as a person are just like, yeah, but you're a fucking machine, right? Like it's like you can't actually do anything to me if I follow it out. Whereas like there's like an actual real human being who's like crawl up your fucking asshole about like whether or not you did your workouts for the week. That's a different thing entirely. There's something very, very like motivating being held accountable by a real human being who can like see what you're doing to a degree and just like actually just talk to you directly about it. Because like end of the day, like unless you're telling ChatGPT, like it's not gonna be able to see what you're doing. You're just gonna do whatever. You won't stick with it. But like having like a person on the other side, that's very very motivating, and it always has been for me. Like having a trainer, having a coach was always amazing. Just like hey, you do this, do this. Like, good job on this. Like the good and the bad, right? Like get props for doing what you did right. If you did something wrong. Like hey, what the fuck happened? Like I think that's like it's a really underrated part of coaching for sure.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think the next one on my notes is, and it should be like the highest one, honestly, is protein. And people are like, "Oh, I'm tired of hearing the protein thing," and it's like, well, you don't understand how actually important it is. It's more important than ever. And before I get into the whole tangent, I'll just let you know this: protein is responsible for all tissue regeneration in the body. So it's not just for building muscle, losing fat. It's actually for your hair to make sure it looks nice, to make sure your skin looks younger, to make sure your nails aren't brittle. Okay, so if you're not eating enough protein, which 99% of you definitely are not, because every time I have somebody come in and Brett and I take a look at their food journal and we're like, what the hell? Like it's probably like 40, 50, sometimes 70 at the high end. And we as men that we typically work with usually need about 150 at the low end, like on the average. And if not as high as 200 grams if somebody's over 250 pounds, right? So just let you know, that's a lot. That's a lot. So in 2026, priority one nutrition outside of just trying to switch out some liquid calories is getting enough protein. And now, before you guys are like, well, Chris, man, I thought that eating a lot of protein was bad for my kidneys. What are we back in the 1980s? Like, what is this? We have so much research that's okay as long as you don't have a kidney issue, a pre existing one, or anything genetic anomalies that we should know about. So remember, this is just advice. This is not a recommendation. It's not prescription. But just know that your goal is to get about zero point 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of your target body weight. And that is a lot. That's equivalent to eating a pound and a half of meat a day if you were to eat all meat. It's not easy without some sort of planning. And if you don't plan it per se, what you will do is like if you're gonna like try to do it on the run, that's just know that that's a lot of meat. That's like a pound of deli meat in a sandwich. That's a big ass sandwich.
Yeah, I was at the airport yesterday. My flight got delayed for like 3 hours and then canceled, and it was the entire thing was a tire fire. And I was just like, once that was being sorted, like, between rounds of dealing with miscellaneous bullshit, between like, having to wait 3.5 hours for my bag because the fucking plane hangar got frozen and they couldn't get out, among other things, I was just there sitting on the floor of the airport, eating like 2 to 3 bags of Jack Link's like beef jerky, trying my fucking protein macros today. Like that's you can make it happen. Like, it sounds like a lot more than it is in practice, I think. I think like once you kind of understand how much protein you're getting on the day, and see if you can like manipulate your diet in such a way that you can stand where you're getting a consistent amount of like protein from certain sources, it becomes like pretty natural just incorporating your day-to-day life. And even while traveling, you kind of understand like what you need to do to hit that number after you've like been in it for like a month or so.
And I love how you talk about traveling in airports. Are so accommodating now, more than ever about protein. I showed up to uh both sides. So Minneapolis, they have an entire stand of all protein products next to the candy. Like we're talking ones that you can't even get on. Like that they have to go straight to the website. They have on the shelves like Transparent Labs, David. They're on the shelves. Even Newark is on top. Being top tier with that stuff right now. So they are really accommodating for travel. So when you travel, people are like, "Oh, I'm at the airport. I want like a beer and a burger." I'm like, "Look, hey, it's 2026. Hey, calm it down. We're gonna get through this. We want to lose a bit of fat, build some muscle. Let's just even though that's a $40 burger with a beer, like let's just spend $10 on a protein bar and some jerky. And next thing you know, you just saved yourself like $30, and
$3.
you got
Like, yeah, you
yeah,
save about $30. You're down like you probably took like 800 calories less, and you got like 40 to 50 grams of protein. Like it's not that hard anymore. Really not.
exactly. I think Joseph is saying hello right now. So hello, Chris. You have any questions for us, Joseph? You got any big goals for 2026, my friend? It's a little bit delayed, so I'll let him answer. But yeah, I guess all for our businessmen or the men that do travel a lot for work. Like, trust me, it is a lot easier more than ever, especially with the airports. And then while you're traveling in a way, I think the biggest thing is before you go, just looking at the options that you are going to have. So if it's for a convention of some sorts or like furthering education, then they usually provide food? In which cases, hey, try to just just basically eat most of the meats, you know? And then if you have a big dinner, it's like, all right, well, you probably should skip breakfast anyways, have that lunch and then have that dinner with your company. It's as simple as that. And just lead with protein. It's honestly the easiest way to do it. And that's how we coach our clients. So travel should not be as difficult as it should be. Um, but going on to the next one. So with training, oh man. So going off of the 5 to 6 days a week, you don't have to do that. So that's great. So a lot of you guys, especially with kids and a job that you're sitting down for like 10, 12 hours a day, look, you don't want to spend your life in the gym. So here, most of your exercises should be compound exercises or like the big exercise that you can think of on top of your head. So if you're new to the gym or you don't know any of these exercises, that just means the bench press, which is a push, right? The rows and the pulling, the pull ups or the lat pull downs, squats, the deadlifts, just the movements that hit multiple muscle groups. And those do wonders because if you get good at those, you will build a great physique, build muscle tone, lose that fat, especially some belly fats, with an accommodating diet. And so you don't have to spend so much time in the gym because think about it. If I do a set of, let's just say, bench press, it's like I am already getting some sort of stimulus with my chest, my triceps, and my shoulders. Whereas if I had to do all isolations 5, 6 days a week to accommodate for the same amount of volume, I could have done in 3 sets of bench press. Okay, so like that's like 3 sets of flies, 3 sets of raises, and 3 sets of tricep extensions. Like it's just so inefficient, waste of time, and none of us have that, especially guys that sit behind a desk all day. It's just not it. Okay.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I mean, like, I think a lot of that comes from bodybuilding culture. I think bodybuilders, because they're the biggest and the showiest of like, physique wise, is people naturally try to gravitate towards those workouts. And people don't really seem to understand that like they are not professional bodybuilders. Like we're not even close to being at that point for the vast majority of us. So like, why are you trying to train like a professional bodybuilder? Like you don't need to do like fucking 12 sets of shoulder lateral raises a week just to maintain your side delt size. Just like you don't have this kind of time. It's just like taking the big compound movements where you're getting the most possible stimulus in the least possible time. That's how you're going to get the physique that you want or to better your personal physique at this juncture of your life, right? If you do it and you love it and like, 3 years down the line, you're like, hey, like, I've gotten in pretty good shape. My shoulders need a little more size. Like, yeah, then we'll talk about more doing like more lateral raises, more like, more side delts of some kind, whatever. Same thing with arms, same thing with like, chest, back, whatever. But like starting with that is insane. Like no one has this kind of time. It's so much more like it's just such a waste. You know what I mean? Just do your compounds. It's like tried and true. You get strong, you build muscle, and then like once you've not even exhausted them because you can do compounds forever. Like I bench constantly. I always like my chest grows forever. Like I don't really see the need to do much more than benching and like some flies sometimes because I just have preposterous pecs and I just keep going. It's like you don't need to do a million isolations. It's really okay, right? Like if future you maybe, but like current you, just like big compounds, some fluff stuff at the end, you're good to go. Don't overcomplicate it.
Hmm. Absolutely. And then, yeah, when he says fluff, it just means that extra. Then you could do your isolations or exercises that you just want to focus on. And most of the time, that's just kind of filling in the gaps, which do include like bicep curls, hamstring curls, lateral raises, tricep extensions, right? Like, but that's towards the end. That's after you've done like the big heavy work, which gets your heart rate going, which hits multiple muscle groups. And obviously, if you have more time, then yes, by all means. But this is for people, especially the guys that are just starting out or trying to now build a rhythm, right? Which I think is like 99% of people we talk to. But I think this is one of my notes that's a big one. So we do have a lot of guys who are getting married and thinking about having kids, right? That are in our program that follow me, and they always look to me and us for advice. But I think it's one of the I'll share a little story here. So the moral of it right away is that our kids really mimic what we do. And for Christmas, I had family over, and one of the family members on my in-law side like has the biggest potty mouth I've ever heard in my life. Right? Like I curse a little bit, whatever. I say some shit I shouldn't be saying, but I mean, like every other sentence was something like f word, shit, bitch. So as we were in the garage playing with the jeeps and stuff, he just kept saying bitch. my son was there. Eventually, my son started saying bitch. And I had to look him in the eye and tell him assertively, like, hey, please stop cursing in front of my son because now he's saying bitch. And that is obviously the extreme of cursing nonstop. And then now he's saying bitch. I of course corrected Elias does not say that anymore, thankfully. But that's just one end. And another anecdote is my, my son literally will not eat unless I eat. Right. And coming back to fitness and nutrition is like, you guys are setting the example. Like you guys are setting up the next generation. So when after you guys get married and when you decide to have kids, or even the fathers right now that are listening to this podcast and this live, like they really do take on what you do. So if you don't think that what you put in your body, the example that you're setting right now, doesn't matter, it really does. It really, really does. Because I see my son, and obviously having a nutritionist as a father makes it super easy. He gets more, dude. You know what's crazy? He gets more. He gets more protein in one. Like he gets his body weight in protein in one sitting. He drinks a chocolate nuri from Costco in the mornings because he loves it, and that's like 25, 30 grams of protein in one shot. And he's only 25 pounds. I
Nice.
don't even. I don't think pediatrically that's correct, but I mean, all I'm saying
That.
is this guy's gonna be jacked. Um,
Hell yeah.
and so I think the guys that are like, man, I want to, like people like that I'm talking about, they're like, oh, I want to get my best shape of my life for the wedding. I'm like, man, like that's like, yes, we can help you with that, but that's like such surface level, dude. You're gonna be the example for your kids. Like it's gonna be tough if you like. I think this is the biggest message I have for these people is it's never gonna get easier. It literally is not. Right now, it's in this case, it'll probably be dual income, no kids. You love and enjoy your life that way. And I get it. I was there. And so if you try and think to yourself like, okay, I can keep pushing this off and then wait till you have that kid, man, at that newborn stage, you're not getting sleep. You're alternating between who gets sleep. And then with that no sleep, it's like, do you really want to make it to the gym after that? Even the people who do lift don't barely do unless they have a really good structure down. So I'm just saying to you now is like, if you can build it now in the interim between the wedding, right, getting married, getting hitched, after the honeymoon and still staying on track of that before you have a kid, that will set you up for further success and keep you consistent throughout the entire process. Because let me tell you now, the guys who are fathers right now, it's the biggest uphill battle, and they will do it. And we've had plenty of guys like Jaime that have that, and David Galindo who have done this. Shout out to them. But like, it is so much harder, so much harder. So for the guys that are about to get about to be hitched, a couple in near future, about to have kids, it's like do it for looking good at the wedding photos again. Make them proud, make yourself proud, and then also that you can eventually be the actual example for them. That's all I had to say about that.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, when I think about this, I also think like about the people we have right now, just like, the people that are out there who are overweight. And like, where did we learn your habits from? You know what I mean? Like, the American obesity epidemic is really something that I think is very, it's very familial, right? Like, comes from like, you got your habits from your parents. The reason why like a lot of people are overweight these days is because like they were taught to eat by their parents, and then due to like changes in the structures of our food, how they're processed, calories have gotten out of control. Eating the same way that you were taught is that you are now eating food that's way more caloric, and therefore you gain so much weight. And like breaking that cycle is incredibly hard. I know very very few people who can like autonomously break their dietary structure for their entire life. It's such a rare thing to see that happen. So like those people that are out there right now who are overeating and just don't really understand like why they're gaining weight, like those are the people who like need help, and like you're gonna have to teach these skills to your kids at some point, like right? It's like it's got to start with you, right? If you want your kids to be better, to feel better, to look better, and to be overall healthier human beings than you are right now, like it has to come from you, right? Like that's the focal point. That's where change starts, So
Oh, you get me fired. You get me fired up right now because it's the reason why I named this company Generation Fit was because I thought to myself, it's if I were to change one man's life, right, that he changes his family's life, and if he changes his family's life, he changes a generation of men. And I think that's what we need more than ever. And what's funny to me is we have more information than ever, like I mentioned. Yet we are the fattest we've ever been. And what what's even crazier is if you were to look back 50 years ago, 60 years ago, and we've been like, hey, we have too much food, we are too fat and too comfortable. So in 2026, the mission is not to do more; it's actually to do less. I'm not even joking. It's like the most counterintuitive thing. But what? Listen to this. Right now, we are inundated with everything. Like we're basically just what we're eating too many calories, we're eating too much food. Yeah, we got that. Yada yada yada. But what about the rest? Right? We were probably taking in way too much social media consumption. It's just pure consumption and brain rot. So it's actually the abstinence of things that's going to be the best. And the funny part is, like, if you get to the point where you have a flat stomach, right? Well, that's like 18% body fat, essentially 20%, right? For most men, you are in the top 10th percentile of the entire United States for men. That is crazy. That is actually
Crazy.
insane. Okay. So when people are like, "Oh, it must be so easy to lose weight," I'm like, it technically is. It is simple,
Yes.
and it's simple in terms of logic, difficult in execution.
Hmm.
So for 2026, it's actually do less, but more precision. Okay, so it's eating way more protein, eating way more fiber, drinking a little bit less of those calories, just working out twice per week, right? And like everything else is no like I think what we do now is being a filter. So in 2026 is having a filter. It's being like, hey, this is what I'm focusing on, and we're gonna push everything else out. And if you're able to do that, everything else is noise. Cancel it all out. Like it doesn't matter if keto is the next big diet. It doesn't matter if paleo is the next big diet. I don't care if Oprah Winfrey comes out and says this is the best thing in the world. No, the information has not changed. It has been there for almost 40 years. And we've actually pretty much known, but marketing has taken over everything. So as long as you can work out twice a week, as long as you can stay true to your calorie target or just eat a little bit less in terms of calories, and as long as you get some sort of steps in and you get some decent sleep, that's it. That is it. That is like you can focus on those four things. Oh my God. Like 2026, you will not be recognizable. Like, nowhere did I say, go take Ozempic and GLP-1s and, do some crazy backflip looking exercise or like attach a bench while doing pull up. No, 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 no. This shit is not sexy. It's not. It's not. But that's why people pay us because it's just like, what is the BS? And everything else is BS. Not even joking. Doesn't matter if it's freaking canola oil versus some seed oils versus not. Like that's so far past what you should even worry about. Like that's what everybody else is worried about. Like that's what you can sell. That's the thing. So for us, it's being like, look, we'll worry about that way later. After you've gotten a baseline of calories, after you got a baseline of protein, after you're working out and you're getting healthy groceries. So that's my main message for 2026. Do less with more efficiency and precision.
I mean, sounds good to me. Like, I don't even miss a thing. People overcomplicating it is just like people love to major in the minors. You know what I mean? Like people love to do the little niche things that, like, yeah, like they build up, right? Like I know that like a lot of the information I take right now is like it really supports like lengthened partials for growing muscle. Cool, totally
Same thing.
fine, great, amazing. But like it doesn't matter more than just doing hard training sets, right? Like you can do all the partials in the world if it is never challenging, that it doesn't fucking matter. You know what I mean? Just like it's about mastering the basics first. You want to get into the nuance later on? 100%. We fucking got you. Like we will make you as like, mindful of everything as we are. No problem whatsoever. But the first step is always just like you got to get the basics right. You got to go and you got to strength train hard, do your compounds, eat your protein, keep your diet consistent, keep your steps consistent, keep your sleep consistent, and like that's where it all has to start. That's it. Like,
Isn't that crazy to think about though? Like it's the simple four,
oh
but
yeah,
we like we're the whole point is like everything around life, like we perceive as like, oh, we can't do that, but a lot of it is in our control. It's like we could get that 30 minutes to 1 hour workout in. We can just go to the bed near the same time every single night. Um, like getting our steps in, it's like we can integrate it into what we do in our daily lives, anyways. So instead of doom scrolling, just doom scroll on your walking pad, or when you're on a phone call, just walk around your office. And if you're at work from home, the walking pad, cycle, whatever. It's just so easy. So, as we get to the end of this, and in terms of 2026, hopefully you guys will take some of this information and knowledge and start integrating it. And maybe you've heard of it a bunch of times. And guess what? That's a good thing. If you have heard of it, that means that you're on the right track. The difference is execution. So you listen to this and listen to anybody else. The whole point is if they're starting to match and the message is correct, well, then you're on the right path. It's just about how can you execute these things. And if you can do it consistently and build it up yourself, great. Like, then we have done our job and shown you guys what the truth actually is. And also in the fact that we do a good job of doing it. But what we want to announce is in terms of 2026, we are upgrading the ROI Fit system into the Built to Last system. And I think actually I like that name a lot. It's because we want you guys to have the power and the skills by the end of this, right? Like after 6 months to a year, if you stay longer than that, it's because you see great results and you just want somebody guiding you along the way. But after 6 months to a year, you will have acquired the skills to be able to do this yourself and to be able to show other people how you did it and be competent in that, right? And so in those big three are big parts of our system, and it comes down like this, right? So the efficiency strength method, where we mentioned earlier, is weight training 2 times per week, focusing on compounds. Okay, the whole point is that you be training, building confidence within your body, and muscle tone without living in the gym. Simple enough. Now, number two, the sustainable nutrition framework, and it's as simple as eating in a way that keeps you on track without feeling like you blew it or you need to start over. Okay. It's that simple because we don't want you to give up your social events, family nights, anything going out to eat. Like we want you to learn how to integrate those into your life. And then the last one, and I think the biggest one that ties it together is the consistency lock in playbook. And nothing fancy. It's as simple as the basic rules that keep you on track when work gets hectic, motivation drops, and real life hits, kids get sick, whatever. So you stop starting over forever. Okay. And in those playbooks for you guys, it's just helping you guys understand. We take step by step measurements to be able to stay lean, build muscle definition forever. Okay. That's all that is. So, in those three main pillars, that is what builds the built to last system. And for those who are listening to this right now or listening to this podcast, we're going to run a 50% discount for the first 10 people who join in January. And so if you are a desk working man over 30 years old that want to lose 20 plus pounds, build visible muscle definition, right, and be able to keep those results forever, right, be confident taking off your shirt, being able to put on pants and look good, this is your time to shine. Okay. So if you're interested, if you're like, this is me, I got to do this. I got to do this for me. I got to do this for my family, for the fathers, and to be there for their kids. All you have to do is go on my Instagram and just DM me case study, and I will get you started. If you enjoyed this podcast, please share with a friend, subscribe to the channel, and follow us on Instagram. Mine is Coach_Chris Slate.